Is this how it goes? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan Myers Expedition. Is that how you do it? Yeah. How does it go? Give it to me. Give me the real one.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan Myers and Daniel Mann Expeditions.
French Riviera style. Meg, thank you very much for having us on your boat and your place.
Welcome. It's a pleasure. Let's shoot some fish.
Ryan and I both headed to France after the World Championship in Spain, and my friend Mig just happened to have the afternoon free with his boat. It wasn't the usual flat Mediterranean, and our only option was to tuck up behind Cap d'Antibes to get out of the wind.
All right.
All the rocks.
First Mediterranean spearfishing trip since the 2016 World Championship. I'm stoked.
Can we call it a spearfishing trip? Primarily based on wine.
I was promised a sunset cruise along the French Riviera with a lot of wine. It was drink like pirates was the quote. And maybe we'll do a little spearfishing. Now we've been out here, it's been 4-foot waves. We are soaking wet. So now it's for our tiny spearfishing portion.
The sun will set, that's for sure.
That is so dank.
Now, see, this is one of the many tricks that you don't know yet, Dan. Now, what this is actually photosynthesizing algae. So it creates extra oxygen while I'm breathing. It puts more. It's like I have plants going directly in, creating oxygen right from my CO2 as I breathe. So we'll go see who holds their breath longer.
Ryan will hold his breath longer, but I think it's just he never washes his gear.
In all seriousness, Ryan is a phenomenal spearfisher and has just released his online spearfishing course. If you're new to spearfishing and don't know where to start, check out the link in the description of this video to be one of the first to get on board. Learn from the 2-time USA champion who dives to 75 meters. Now, let's get back to France. I opted for my single band 90cm gun to try and find some fish in the shallows. As usual, a few small sargos and some salpa, but nothing really of size. I found some really nice vertical cracks which I know Corvina love, but they are forbidden to take in France, as is the use of a torch. Seeing this small one was a nice sign that there could be other predators ready to come out at sunset. This dive I saw some small gilt-head sea bream as well as Dentex way off in the distance. Having checked the Navionics app previously, we knew there was a pinnacle that came up close by and decided to head out to find it.
Shot a little Dentex up on the end there.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, there's also a couple of those gilt. Do you know the gilt-head sea breams? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of those, the Dorados.
Yep. Yeah, there's a couple up off this bit that seem to flow down that way.
Here Ryan is swimming just deep enough so he can see the bottom structure without using the energy to dive all the way to the bottom or scaring fish.
Bit more of a ledge, eh?
I land just below the high point and get into position. A few moments later, I have 3 Dentex coming straight for me, but I don't really have the ideal spear gun in my hand for this situation. Now, it wouldn't be a Daniel Mann Mediterranean video without some lamenting over Dentex.
I just missed the Dentex. Not a big one, but...
Ryan had one last dive before we decided to get back in the boat and drive all the way to the pressure point on the front of the pinnacle.
This is the reality of spearfishing. Often it is suboptimal. But the other reality of spearfishing is it's always fun.
Are we having fun?
Yeah, I'm having fun. If I tell myself enough, it's fun. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow.
Better be quick, the wave's coming sideways.
Good luck! Shoot fish!
After swimming to the upcurrent side of the pinnacle, it was clear that we were in a fishy area. With these sargos scattered through the gutters and the bait fish looking nervous, I knew a predator wouldn't be far away. A barracuda makes a pass at a distance, but I'm out of breath. Next dive will be closer to the drop-off. Ryan has a drop a little further away in the Posidonia. One thing I instantly notice about this footage is how slow and smooth his head movements are. I've been filming with a camera on my head for over 10 years and I know how difficult this is to do. With a long espeto, a lovely Dentex gives him a look, but sadly won't come any closer. That's the usual story with these fish. The next dive I make is a little closer to the drop-off, and it's really fishy with these shoals of Occhiata in the water. As I finally get into position, I get a glimpse of a lovely Dentex. Again, off in the distance and no real interest in coming close to me. Next dive, I'll try over the drop-off, but the light is quickly fading. I have time for maybe 1 or 2 more dives. Ryan also got a look at a nice gilt head and another distant Dentex. This was it, last dive of the day. As I come over the edge, a beautiful dusky grouper heads for its lair. Grouper are protected in France, so I continue on my way to the bottom. It was really dark down here, and with no sign of Dentex, I decided to try for one of these black bream, or in French, droit gris.
That's what a black bream is.
With the spearfishing box ticked, it was time for the wine and sunsets that we had promised Ryan.
That's all right, size will do. We started off in the shallows. We didn't really find too much that we were looking for until we went out onto this rock a little bit off there, and then we both saw Dentex. I did my classic thing and missed the Dentex, and then we decided to wait for the sun to go down a little bit more and then head out onto this big patch of rocks, which was a very cool spot.
We had to turn down how many glasses of wine?
1.5 bottles worth of wine.
In between those 2 dives, though, which was probably the hardest part of our day.
That was probably the hardest part of the day. But we found a really fishy spot there. There was barracuda running through. We both saw Very nice Dentex.
The nicest Dentex I've ever seen by far. Like I've never seen like
They're this color, like the color of
the
glasses.
real proper iridescent Mediterranean style. What do you think? 4 kilos? 3?
I would say some of them were 4 kilos, yeah.
Beautiful.
But they were lovely fish. And then last dive, I decided that I had to, it's a bit difficult to unload the roller. So I decided to take a classic fish that we have in the UK. I quite like eating the black bream, or as my Italian friends would call it, panuta. So we have a fish, we have food, we have a sunset, we have friends, and we also have champagne, courtesy of Mig. I mean, this is what spearfishing is about. Having a good time.
Champagne moment. Thank you very much for coming. Let's see if we
you
can
for
shoot the
having
drone.
us. Do not shoot the drone.
They've got a spin on it and everything. We'll have to get that for environmental reasons. Because spearfishers are not environmental vandals.
Absolutely. Against cork in the sea.
Even though this is probably very biodegradable.
Don't put the trees in the sea.
Mig, what is going on?
Food. French food. Which consists mainly of grease, fat,
And dairy
cheese.
products.
We got truffle cheese, comté, chèvre. We have the saucisson, which is the typical, you shouldn't call it salami in France, sausage. Then we have this tome de brebis, and this one is with truffle, so it's hopefully
It's very naughty.
So happening.
Cheers.
cheers. The fish.
We stayed out well after the sun was set, talking all things spearfishing and life. A massive thank you, Mig, for taking us out on your boat and the delicious spread. The French certainly know how to live well. As you can see, we are no longer in the French Riviera. We left Mig and Ryan after that awesome afternoon dive. Nice in the morning, drove all the way up through Verona, stopped in Valpolicella for a wine tasting for our anniversary, and here we're at the famous Three Chimneys in the Dolomites. It's an amazing hike here. As you can probably tell by my voice, Hannah and I are probably not at our best. We picked up some sort of virus or cold at Laredo. Something to do with 100 people from all over the world coming together, shaking hands. Probably had something to do with it. But we're on the mend, and over the next few days we're heading down through Slovenia, possibly some diving there, but after that we're heading to Croatia for a week, and there will definitely be some diving there. So if you want to stay up to date with those videos, we'd love you to come along for the journey. So subscribe, and we'll see you there.
I think it's bent kind of on the flopper hole mostly, so